Hey y'all, Rochelle here, your delightful crafter. This is kind of a random video. Yes, there's tonic, but this is only like one bundle. I think there's 2 dyes. But I also want to talk about what's sitting over here. Anywho, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you stick around a spell. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button, ding the bell next door if you want to get notifications of my future videos. Thumbs up, likes, always appreciated. And any questions or comments, please leave them down below. So we're going to start with the tonic, just so that I can get it out of the way. Because what I'm really excited about is right there. I hope everybody's doing well. It has been very busy at work. Had doctor's appointment today. Yippee skippy. On the bright side, everything's good, which is nice. So this bundle, I ordered it on the 21st. It was called the Hamper and Vase bundle. And to me, I look at it and I see 2 things. I see either a sewing basket or a fishing basket. And then you have these guys right here. Y'all know I love any kind of boxes that can be altered or used for gifting, because I like to make them and, you know, give as gifts at work to co-workers who are leaving or going to different departments. Leaving but not, because, you know, I'll still see them. But anywho, so the first one, this one is called the Jardiniere gift box die set. I think the peacock is pretty, but I'm not big into peacocks. But I'm loving the daffodil. I think it is absolutely adorable. I think this is appropriate for a peacock, but I'm really not digging the color schemes. But y'all know me, I like to go over the dimensions. And yes, so the largest die, which is the main die, the one you have to have, is 7.7 inches by 11 inches. So you have to have the large format. But I know I've seen a lot of people out there, they're getting the new Sizzix Big Shot Switch. And so this will be perfect. And that is going to be the Sizzix, it's the new motorized die cutting platform. And I'm really debating. I'm thinking about, you know, making the plunge. I mean, I already have a few die cutting systems, but I'm really considering the Switch, especially if I can find the baby pink one. That would be nice. I think I saw an orange one that was really cute too. But anywho, but yeah, I'm really loving the daffodils on here. The peacock is nice, but it's really not my thing. But some of the embellishments kind of have an Art Deco look to them. I would really enjoy it if Tonic would bring out like some of their lines like add-ons. So there's other pieces to change up the decorations or the embellishments. But anywho, so there's that. This one kind of has a Christmas vibe, but it's got hibiscus on it. But the color scheme, you know, green, red. So there's that. And then the other piece to it is the one that's called the Happy Hamper gift box. And I love this sample because they made beads out of paper. So that is rolled paper to make those beads, which I think is fantastic. And you have inlay, and it looks like they used the enamel dots to accent each of the starbursts. So I think that's pretty awesome. And they did the same thing on this one. This is the one that reminds me more of like a fishing basket. But I really love the idea of lining it with the acetate so that you can kind of see the goodies that are inside. Really nice. 25 dies. This one is 26. And this is going to be another one that requires a larger machine. So 6.7 by 10 inches. So at its smallest side, it is still too wide for your standard die cutting machine. So if you have the basic Big Shot, the Gemini Junior, the Platinum 6. There's a few other machines, and I can't think of what they are. Neither one of these are going to fit. And I'm thinking, I'm hoping, I mean, we know that Tonic has been, I would say, pretty much forefront in the market as far as putting out the XL oversized dies. But with the advent of all the new wide format, and that's what I call them, wide format. They're the wider than the standard machines. I'm hoping we start seeing more larger die projects. So, but that's me. Anywho, let's see, what does the sentiment say? This one says, a little something just to say. And then you have different buckle elements to add on here. Oh my goodness, I just noticed. So these beads, that's what this die is for, right here. To make the paper beads, you start at one side and you just keep rolling. And I think you can use Mod Podge or a some type of glue. I've never made paper beads myself, but I've had people make them and give me some, which I love because you can make beads out of anything and they're just stunning. So I think this is great. This one here, I might really. I think I'm really going to play with that one. I mean, you can also just cut it out if you want and roll it up, but that's awesome. So that's it. That's it for the crafty world. Technically, the cameras, yes, are crafty, but you guys have seen this one sitting on my desk for a while. So these are a discontinued line from Nikon. And this Nikon was the first brand to come on the market with a mirrorless DSLR camera. That's what these were. If you might remember back in, I think it was 2011, Ashton Kutcher like diving through a party and then jumping up and, you know, snapping a picture and then like, you know, quickly changing a lens. That was the other big thing about this particular line. This was the first point and shoot sized camera on the market that has interchangeable lenses. So as you see, this is kind of the ugly duckling right now. Obviously this lens came with this camera, and when I first started recording, the first videos were on a phone. Then I got this guy here and love it. This is the first model in the line. This is the Nikon 1J1, and this, I loved recording with it. The pictures were beautiful. The videos were beautiful. And I would have a tripod sitting next to me, and this would be like peeking up over my shoulder and recording as I was talking to y'all. And for me to see what was going on, I had a cable HDMI coming out of this into a monitor, so I could see everything that was going on, and I knew I was in screen. The downside to technically the whole line is these do tend to overheat. DSLR cameras are really not built for videos. It's even with the bigger cameras, yes, you can record. Yes, you can record videos with these, but after about 10 minutes, I think this one had a 15-minute limit on this one, if I remember correctly, because I haven't used it in a while. It would heat up and then just shut down. So I just got to the point where I started paying attention to my time, and then I would have to stop what I was doing, let it cool down, and then I could start another segment. And then I would use an editing software to put them together to give you guys your videos. But my craft room, the moment, still at the moment. Ideally, my lights are eventually going to be mounted to the ceiling and focus down, but for the longest time they sit on either side of this desk, and so they take up a lot of my space. And the frame that my phone is on is an Archon. Some of y'all will know what the Archon line is. It's a really great, I guess you want to call it like photo accessory line to photography. They have lots of equipment. And I have this Archon mount that sits on my desk. You can see it right here. This thing weighs a ton. And I have an adapter that attaches to the arm, and my phone is clipped in, and that's how I record. And I can see the way my phone is set up. I can see what I'm doing. Anywho, for the longest time, so anyway, I'm all over the place with this. Nikon discontinued the one line, and that's what this is called, the Nikon 1, the whole one line. It was discontinued in 2018, and that same year they came out with the Z line, and it's another mirrorless camera line. I guess I should, like I said, I'm all over the place. My apologies. I'm not a professional photographer at all. I know just enough to be dangerous. Anyway, the sensors in these are 1 inch, where a standard DSLR is, if somebody's a photographer out there, please let me. I think the standard DSLRs out there are what, like 2 to 3 inches on the sensor, I think. Honestly, I've never really paid attention. And the downside to the smaller sensor is that means when you try to blow it up, you're going to lose more detail than on the big giant, I'm going to call them beasts. Because I have a full-size Nikon DSLR, and that thing's heavy. When you go on vacation and you're lugging that thing around, you get a headache, you get a shoulder ache, you can get a neck ache because they get heavy. And that was the other selling point on this line, was you had for technically vacation, you had kind of like the DSLR option without the horrible weight. And these lenses were small, small enough you could interchange, and you could have almost like a whole photography kit go with you for almost the same size as taking one full-size DSLR and just a few lenses. It was kind of ridiculous. Anyway, the line started at a 10 megapixel. It ended at a 20.8 megapixel, which, I mean, nowadays is still considered low. But this camera takes stunning video, stunning pictures, and even though this is a 4-year-old camera used, you're still lucky for this one. This is the J5. The earlier lines came in prettier colors. I think there was a pink, a red, a white, black, silver, and in the J5 it comes in, I call it the classic. They call this the silver, and then there is a solid black body. The other thing, I mean, you can see the controllers. The controls on it are different from the beginning to how it ends. These do have flashes that pop up. They're not strong. The bonus to this one is you can actually flick the lens, the flash up so it'll bounce off the ceiling instead of just like, going straight at your subject and creating shadows. This one also has a movable frame, so that if I'm wanting to do a selfie, I can pop it up and record myself and see what I'm doing. The Now, the batteries are not interchangeable, which I'm glad I ordered extra batteries, but when I went online, I ordered the wrong size. So I only have one battery for this now. The other big disadvantage is this is the kit lens. This is the one that comes with all the cameras. I bought this one from a photography shop, and all I got was the body. And we'll say, I'm just going to tell you, I still paid over $300 for just the body. When these came out, the 5s, I believe they were selling close to $1,000, I think. So, I mean, the money's still there, and I'm glad I didn't pay the full price. This one, I found out about the line because I found this on Facebook Market, and I got this one for $80. But now my thing is trying to get more lenses. The lenses are still redonkulous. The lenses have just about always cost more than the cameras. And these lenses can only be used on the Nikon 1 lenses. However, Nikon did come out with an adapter. I think it's called an F-mount adapter or an F1. Anyway, it's an adapter that you put on the camera and it'll accept your full size. So I have a macro, a wide lens, a telephoto, just the standard basic kit lens that comes with all DSLRs. So I think I have 5 other lenses that I can now, once I get the adapter, I'll be able to use on either of these cameras. The only thing is they won't be autofocus, they'll be manual. But it opens the window for more lens options for these. Anywho, the big hoo-ha is I am trying to get things going to where I can start recording again with the cameras. The only downside to recording with the cameras is that means I have to start editing. When I'm recording with my phone, I just record and I upload straight up from my phone. Oh, that's the other thing that this can do. This model, I don't think the other models before it, so the 1 through the 4, I don't believe they have the Wi-Fi option. So there's an app that I can put on my phone. I can take pictures and Wi-Fi it to my phone, and then I can send it out instead of having, take out the memory card, download it to the computer, blah, 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 blah. There's always a love-hate relationship to photography. Anywho, this is just something I have been watching for about 3 years for this camera. And I got really lucky this past weekend. I found a really great deal on this from a reputable photography shop. Fortunately, it does have a, well, not a long warranty because, it is a 4-year-old camera. But, when you buy stuff used, it's kind of like, why are they really selling it? But the battery's charging on this, and then I'm going to start playing with it. I'm hoping to, in the next couple weeks, record with this and actually stitch it together and put it up there for you guys to see. The other change that'll probably be happening over this month, towards the end of the month, is I just ordered the new Samsung 22 Ultra. So I don't know if there's a big difference in the camera, in the video. Because I use right now, I have a Note 10 Plus is what I use for these videos. And yeah, I know this really isn't an exciting video. It's exciting for me. I'm still waiting to play with this. I just got to get the battery charged, and then I'll be playing with this baby. And I'm going to be now hunting down a couple, there's a bunch of lenses for these, but I'm only looking for about 3 or 4 for taking pictures. So, anywho, I know some people are like, well, why do you need a camera when you can do all that on your phone? Well, honestly, there are things you can do with cameras that your that your phones can't do. And that's my thing. I'm a dabbler in photography, and I don't know enough to teach anybody anything, but I'm learning. But anywho, I wanted to share this line because it's a really great line, especially if you can find it like on your Facebook market. Like you can go meet somebody and try it out before you actually buy it if they're, you know, a good person. It was a mom who was selling this one, and she let me try it out before I paid her, and I really enjoyed the camera. So I love this one enough that I took the plunge and forked out a little bit for this one. But anywho, so now I think the next camera I'll be wanting is the Z line, the Z line. But right now those ones are starting at like, I think $1,500 for the base one of those. So it's going to be probably quite a few years before I get my hands on one of those. And anywho, I have run my mouth. I will tell you, I got to go to the doctor's office today. Everything was good, which is fantastic. I get to come off the blood thinners when this particular prescription runs out. I have a refill, but I'm going to turn that in after this one is done. So I get to come off the blood thinners, which is great. Great. I'm really excited about that. Anywho, I've run my mouth. Probably not exciting for most, but was exciting for me. And, you know, maybe I introduced you to a camera line that is, you can't find in the stores, but if you get your hands on one, you'll probably fall in love with. Especially if you're like starting with photography. So, oh, hey, baby girl. You want up here? You want to come tell everybody hello? Come here. Come here. I'm going to try and get her up here for y'all. Come here. Hope she's not cooperating. What do you want? There you are. Come here. Urgh. Say hi, everybody. Nobody wants to talk to the tushy. Turn around. Come on. Come here. Come here, baby. She's been pretty sassy lately. Anywho, thanks for, if you made it this far, thank you. Not a particularly crafty video. Lots of me just chit-chatting and sharing my not expert knowledge on photography and cameras, but hopefully sharing a particular camera line that might be affordable to you if you're wanting to get into something that's more than just a basic camera. But oh, and like this one can do slow motion, and supposedly it can do 4K or 8K, but the frames per second are really bad, so I'll probably never use it. So, because you only get, I think, like 15 frames per second, which is absolutely pointless. Why, I have no idea. But, anywho, y'all have a great night. I love you guys to pieces. And, happy crafting or picture taking. Bye-bye.